What's up, guys? Pot Black Pigs for Life here, and today we're back with another episode of Golden Age, where, man, it has been a long time since we've last been here. So, last episode of Golden Age, we, were at the third village over here, so down the river, and man, we really made some major changes to that village. I mean, well, for one thing, we, added so many more houses, and, there's so much more activity here, so yeah, but, now, this time, for the next few episodes, we are going to be focusing on the big city that I've been talking about. So, during the Golden Age of Islam, there were several large cities, such as, Cairo, Baghdad, that had these, very, early universities, where, scholars from throughout the Islamic Empire would travel far and wide to visit the city and to get some knowledge. So, yeah, and so, basically, I've been doing a lot of work off camera, so the path's gonna go all the way across the ravine. The red wool is meant to represent path, cross the river. Right here, we have got the big city. No idea what it's gonna be called, but yeah, this city is so much larger than any of the other villages. Which, by the way, they're, the first village with the, Technoblade Shrine is right over here. Well, I shouldn't call it a shrine, I should call it a memorial. And so basically there's gonna be a dock right here, and in order to get to the other village, you would sail all the way down. I mean, you pretty much could walk here, but you know what? Maybe we'll add in a path. I don't know. But yeah, so basically the gray, smooth stone is meant to represent where the wall is going to go. The blue is meant to represent the houses, and the red is meant to represent the path. So, what I think we're gonna do is, for this video, we're definitely gonna work on the path. So, we're gonna work infrastructure for this video, so that includes the path leading from the city over to the second village, which I do not know what I want to call these villages. If you guys have any suggestions for what you want to call some of the villages and the big city, definitely leave them down below, so long as they're appropriate. So yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're going to start by doing the path all the way over to the city. So it's gonna go right over here, cross the ravine, it's gonna cross the river, and then there's this little strait over here, or landmass, separating two rivers, and the path is going to go all the way over here, where we will have the village entrance. So yeah, without further talking, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so kicking things off with the path, I do apologize for this little laggy bit. Don't worry, it gets better throughout the rest of the video. But, speaking of lag, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the feedback on the last video, and heck, thank you for even taking the time to watch it. We're now over 200 views on that, JP30 video. So yeah, I got a little bit of feedback from you guys in regards to the lag in that video, and I do apologize for the lag in the video. I'll go into it a little bit more in depth later. Okay, so we got a path leading from the village over there all the way to the big city. We've also got a few bridges, one crossing the ravine and the other crossing the river. So yeah, and honestly, for someone who really doesn't texture my builds, I don't think I really did a bad job on texturing the path. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, now we can focus on building the city itself. But really quickly, I thought of an idea. So as of recording this, I'm basically recording this exactly one day before the update. And as we all know, camels are being added to the update. So what I think might be cool is if right over here we have a little like pen for some camels. Like, especially like right here, we got this little oasis, a few cacti. Is cacti? I don't know. But yeah, we got a nice little area for some camels. So yeah, we're not gonna get into that right now. Because, well, obviously the update isn't out yet. It'll be out tomorrow, as of recording this, like I said. But for the time being, now we're going to move on to the big city. And I think a great place to start would be the path and the wall. So we'll start with the wall, and then we'll move on to the path. Alright, so once again, another instance of me forgetting to hit record on the replay mod. But yeah, like I was saying about the leg, so first of all, I should, tell you guys that I'm recording this on a, like, $500 laptop, so this is, like, no, like, extreme gaming setup. So, and also, the screen recorder, like, it's a pretty good screen recorder, but it's not the best, I fully understand. Earlier today, as of recording this, I tried to use OBS, but, honestly, I had an even worse experience with OBS in the sense that the frame rate was even worse. So while I do appreciate the feedback, we're just gonna have to stick to what we got for now. Alright, so as you can see, there is no more red wool in sight, meaning we have completed all of the paths. Sorry if you can hear the phone ringing in the background. I'm at my grandparents' house currently. And yeah. So anywho, so now I think for today what we're gonna do is we're going to work on the houses. So we've got a bunch of these smaller 2-person houses that commonly spawn in villages. If we go over to the neighboring village, or well, the closest village, you could say, right over here, one of these houses, yeah, right here. Also, one thing that I really quickly want to mention is that, sorry, I got off track. One thing I really quickly want to mention is, obviously the replay mod isn't out for 1.20 yet, so because that, I am currently playing the game on 1.19 still, so, it's been, like, a day after the, update released. However, I'm still playing on the, 1.19 update. Because as you can see, no cherry blossom wood, or no cherry wood. So yeah, because of that, we won't be able to do the, like, camel area just yet, but we'll definitely be able to do it on the very last episode of the series, which will be in, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 episodes, maybe, who knows, but, yeah, so this episode, we're definitely gonna get to work on the different houses, and, I also want to try and get down the bazaar. So the bazaar is a lot larger, as you can see. We've got, 2, job sites per, profession, and, yeah, but for now, we're gonna stick to the houses. So we're gonna work on the houses right now, and we're gonna use some of the houses that I just showed you, and then a little bit later I'll get into more detail about the other 2 types of houses. So yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so moving on to the house building, So starting with the smallest of the three types of houses, for the first few, I decided to do the interior and the exterior, but then after that, I decided to do just the exterior of the houses, because not only are you guys not going to be able to see me do the interior, but it'll also, like, take up precious time. So, yeah, so I decided to do the interior off camera, and so don't worry, the interior is, like, all the same in the different types of houses, like, depending on the house, of course. Like, for example, the small house isn't going to have the same interior as the big house. You guys know what I mean. But yeah, so then one other thing that I did in this speed build is I decided to add in some of the street lights. Alright, so several hours later, and all of the small houses, or at least the small houses in the city, are now finished. They've all been interiorized, or, well, they all have interior, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, one thing I'm gonna do is I'm not going to populate the city until it is completely finished. I also forgot to mention that right over here is the entrance to to what's going to be my palace. So, we'll probably do that on the very, very last episode. But now we're gonna move on to the, medium-sized houses, which are in this village. And, I think what we're gonna do is, or, well, I shouldn't even call it a village. I should call it a city, because, I mean, essentially, that's what it is. But anyways, so what I think we're gonna do is, I think I'm going to, copy this farmhouse that we have here, because this is a pretty big house. It's very tall, for one thing, and, well, cities are known for their tall buildings, so, yeah, and also the fact that this house can have up to 4 different villagers living in it. And of course, with the canopy and stuff. Yeah. What are you two doing up here? I don't know. I think they're stuck. Hey. Are you stuck? Alright. Anyways, that's enough of that. So, yeah, so I'm probably gonna go, to and from the city and the little farming district over here, trying to replicate the village, or not the village, the, house. So, yeah, without further talking, let's get back into it. Alright, so moving on to house type number 2, the largest of the houses. I don't know why I decided to do the largest than the medium houses. But as you can see, one thing I did is, so once again, I'm saving the interior to do off camera, but, if you noticed, back when we, checked out the farmhouse that I built a few episodes ago, we had those, fireplaces as sort of like a, like, canopy, I guess. So what I decided to do is, on the first few houses, I decided to add the, canopy, but then, afterwards, I decided to not do the canopy, so that way I would know which houses didn't have interior. And that's house type number 2 complete. So now all we have left is the third type of house. And so basically what I've been doing is, to get ideas for these houses, I went to another creative world. So right here, so right in here, Golden Age house plans. It's literally only just one house, but, yeah. So right here, I saw these 2 houses lined up right next to each other, and so, what I decided to do was I decided to combine them. So this was originally a cartographer workstation, but I turned it into a little house. Think about it. What I'm probably gonna do is that, and hang on. There we go. That looks a little bit better. And so yeah, but and then same thing for the other window. Is we're gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna put that there. So yeah, so we've got one bed down up there, and we've got 2 beds down here. So we can fit 3 villagers in total. So yeah, now what I'm gonna do is, like with some of the other structures we've built in this series, I'm gonna take a few pictures, and now we're gonna head back to the main world, and we're gonna get building. And on to the final house type. I do apologize in advance, but the camera, like, moves very fast in this. So, yeah, there might be some times where the camera gets a little bit blurry. That's because of the fast movement. Because basically what I'm doing is I'm recording these replay mod recordings. I'm recording them again on the screen recorder that I've been using for, like, all my other videos. And I would speed up the replay mod recording by 8, and then in the video editor I speed this up by 8. So yeah, so that's why these that's why we can get a lot done in these Minecraft videos. But yeah, I'm just gonna say that this took me like over an hour to do, and this is just talking about this type of house. Alright guys, so that's pretty much all the houses complete. Well, not all of them. Oh well, back to building. Alright, now we're done with all the houses. I gotta be honest with you guys, I never want to place another sandstone block again. That was grueling work, and I mean grueling work. So now my original plan for this video was to do the bazaar. However, I think we're gonna only do half of the bazaar, because the idea is these 3 market stalls are gonna be leaning up against this building, which is going to be the library. So we'll do these first few stalls. And you know, a great way to sort these out would be to have like all the smithing professions along this wall, and then right over here we've got like the food producers, like with the like butcher shop, fisherman area, farmer, as well as all the craftsmen, like the masons and the cartographers and the Fletchers, the shepherds, etc., etc. So yeah, yeah, so obviously these stalls are going to be a lot larger, so I have a little bit of planning that I need to do, so might as well get started. Okay, so finally we're moving on to something other than the houses. Honestly, I think the big thing is that because I had to, like, repeat the same build over and over and over again, it ended up getting really, really tedious. And it's not like I was building, like, some of those, like, really small one-person houses. No, I was building, like, much larger structures. So because of that, it was very, like, tedious and whatnot. So this bazaar is, obviously a lot larger. The stalls are a lot larger. So because of that, we're able to accommodate 2 villagers per stall. And also, I decided to add a window into some of them to let in some fresh air. And I also tried to add in some cool carpet patterns. Alright, I must say that the bazaar doesn't look half bad. It actually looks pretty decent. These are all the stalls, so we'll start with the armor, toolsmith, weaponsmith. Don't know why I blanked on that. We got the mason, Fletcher, leatherworker, shepherd, farmer, butcher, fisherman, and cartographer. Perfect. Ooh, look, clear skies. Alright, so now I think we're going to take a break from placing sandstone. A well-needed break from placing sandstone. And I think what I'm going to do is, as you can see, this area right over here is pretty open. And the reason there's no buildings here is because the terrain is very wonky. And, like, so many changes in elevation. So I thought this would be a great place for a public garden. First, I'm gonna get rid of a few of these cacti because the villagers might get pricked to death on the cacti. So yeah, I should probably do that first. Maybe there might be some other places here where we could do something like that. Maybe. Like, maybe, like, right here. I don't know. We'll have to see. Alright, now, onto the public garden. So, yeah, it was a little bit tedious having to replace all the sand with dirt and then, bone mealing the moss because you can't bone meal it on sand, apparently. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was honestly kind of satisfying. But yeah, also bone mealing some azalea trees, adding some boulders, nice little stream, and also some beehives. Alrighty guys, so we're all finished with the little public garden, and I must say, when you're walking through it, this place looks awesome. I decided to add a few, like, lily pads and some drip leaf off camera. But yeah, so, honestly, I don't think we really need any more gardens anywhere else. Like, on its own, that one looks amazing. And, honestly, like I've been saying, like, we've gotten a lot done in this episode in such a short amount of time. So I was gonna do the library next episode, but you know what? Honestly, we might do it in this episode. So then next episode will probably be the temple, the academy, and of course the Grand Palace to finish things off. But you know what? The last thing we're gonna do in this episode is build up the library. So my plan for the library is, I want to have, like, 2 towers, so, on either end, and they're gonna be domed on the top. So, we'll probably use, like, some concrete or terracotta, and we'll build a nice dome right on the top. And also, my goal is to put in a lot of detail, so we're gonna use all sorts of sandstones and what have you. So let's get every type of sandstone imaginable, and then we'll get building. Okay, so this build, like you'll see in our next few builds next episode, is heavily based on experimentation. So I'm going into these builds completely without a plan and without knowing exactly what they're gonna look like. So the big thing we're experimenting with is how we want to detail things. So as you can see, I'm detailing one of the towers. Really like the little window in the middle. And then also on the interior, I was experimenting with how people will get into the towers. There we go. You can also see a little bit of interior work. You'll get a better look when we're done with the time lapse. But yeah, so I was able to find a pattern that I liked, and also with the domes. But yeah, honestly, I am really proud of this build. You can see that I'm also using the end stone walls instead of the sandstone walls because Yeah. Same, like, relative, like, color. Man, I must say, this building looks incredible. Like, look at this. Man, I am really impressed with how well this building looks. Also, I decided to keep this little section of the bazaar uncovered, so like without the carpets, because yeah, because it's gonna be like a little bit weird attaching the carpet to the library. But I mean, man, the detail, like, man, I'm really proud of this. So, one thing I did realize is that the bees can get into the library because there's these flowers here. There's some areas where you can sit down, read a book. Some jukeboxes. I didn't know what else to put here, so I just put jukeboxes as decorations. We got this ladder. And we got a little balcony. These are also supposed to be benches, by the way, for guests to read outdoors. But yeah, man, this city is really starting to come together. And let me tell you, it is looking incredible. Yeah, so all I really have left to do is the temple, the academy, and of course, to finish things off, my palace. But yeah, we'll have to do that next episode. So, a few things I want to mention. So, first of all, I am now on summer break. So, yeah, so hopefully I will be able to upload a lot more this summer. And also, this video is going out on the weekend of Father's Day. So I wish all dads out there who are watching this a very, very happy Father's Day. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If so, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see some more Minecraft, Planet Zoo, and Jurassic World Evolution 2 content. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.